the things that he had prepared for me this year, I could not have at all written up at the beginning of the year. I wrote down goals at the beginning of the year, didn't really check back on them. And yet and still, this is the year where I've seen just so many things happen that I have been praying for. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tiffany, aka theTILAGO. If you're new around here, I talk about all things the faith journey, loving the Lord, and living a life that is pleasing unto Him. And I just cannot wait to get into this video, y'all. I'm so excited to tell you all about my 2025 testimony. When I tell you that this year has been one of those years where I look back and I'm like, only God Himself could have written this story. Only God Himself in His power and His strength and His might could have done the things that He did in my life this year. Only God Himself could have put all the pieces that He did together and in line for this year to be what it was for me. And it has absolutely been a redemption year, a restoration year, a year of just like, a year of I have seen the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living, right? Like it has literally been one of those years for me. And so my goal in this video, let me start off by saying this. My goal in this video is to absolutely point back to Him, is to give all glory, honor, and praise unto God, because I could not have done any of this stuff myself. And I definitely couldn't have made it all happen in one year. The way that He, and honestly, I keep saying 2025 testimony, but He really did a whole lot, all of this stuff within the past like 6 months. It has been absolutely insane. And I'm just so grateful. I'm speechless a little bit, but I'm gonna have a lot to say as we talk right now. But I don't even understand. Like His ways and His thoughts are truly higher than ours. And I have seen it happen, or seen that be a thing in my life this year. And so that's my number one goal, is to point back to Him. My number two goal is really to just encourage somebody, like to let you know that, hey, God has not forgotten about you. The things you've been praying about, the things that you've been asking Him for, the things that you feel like He's put on your heart to desire in your life. He's absolutely not forgotten about those things. And He still is working a plan, and He still has a plan for you to see those things in your life and for you to have them. And so all you have to do is keep trusting Him, just take heart and really continue to lean into Him, to continue to trust Him, continue to focus on Him, continue to keep your eyes stayed on Him, and don't try to go and figure it out yourself. Don't try to don't go out and get distracted, but to continue to allow God to be God in your life and to allow Him to orchestrate everything. He's such a good God. He's such a faithful God. He's such an intentional God. And the things that He has for you, that He's prepared for you, no eye has seen, no ear has heard at all. Okay. Like you might have thoughts of what your life is going to look like or what you want it to look like, but you can't even fathom. It has not even entered into your mind all the things that the Lord has prepared for you. So just continue to trust Him, continue to keep Him, at the center of everything that you do, and just lean in, just lean in and continue to be expectant. Because again, God has so much in store for you. And I pray that my story just encourages you to just keep going, and keep trusting. Okay. And so I'm going to try to make this pretty succinct, but y'all, it's been real hard to try to put all the things in order, because the way that He has orchestrated things in my life over the past few years, for this year to be the year that it was for me, has been mind blowing. And it's so hard to try to put it all together. And so I'm going to try to tell y'all the story, in line. And then I'll try to, maybe I'll tell y'all everything that has happened in my year first, so that it's not like I'm leaving you on a cliffhanger, what did He do in your life, girl? No, He did a lot. Okay. So I'll tell you what He did, and then I'll tell you how we got here, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Okay. So first things first, God absolutely blew my mind in the areas of my career and in the area of my dwelling place, or my physical home location. And so the things that He did for me this year, y'all, that have been on my mind, that have been on my heart, that have been desires for me over the past years and years and years. Like I said, I'm going to tell you how we got here, but the things that He did for me this year are, number one, in my career, really just by income alone, honestly, is from January to today. My income from my 9-to-5 job increased over 20K. That does not happen. Like that just did not happen, but it increased over $20,000 this year alone. And really most of it happened within, like I said, the past 6 months. So he's done that, and he's put me in a position at a company that I'm really, really, really enjoying and feeling like I'm making a difference, and I'm being challenged, and feeling like I'm really supposed to be here for not just the reason of like completing the job and completing the work, but I'm really feeling like he's called me here for something greater than that, for something like to just represent him in a certain way. And so I'm excited about that. That's one huge thing that he's did. Again, I will tell you how we got here. Okay. But then the second thing that he did this year is he allowed me to buy my first home. So I am sitting in my first home right now. This is my kitchen behind me. And y'all, when I say that if you know me, you have heard me talk about buying a home and wanting a house and wanting a home and wanting to buy a home over the past, I don't know how many years, but I've been talking about it, and I've been praying for it, and I've been believing for it, but I've been discouraged in the journey. But it's crazy. Okay. Like I said, I'll tell you how we got here, but the fact that he has allowed me to purchase this home, to be in this home, I've been in this home now since October, so about 2 months. But the fact that he's allowed me to get into this home, the way that he orchestrated it, the way that he was so intentional about it has been absolutely crazy. I did already record a video of me kind of documenting that journey. So definitely I recorded 2 videos. So definitely go back and watch those if you want to see just the journey of me getting here, to see all the little, it was just like a video diary. I was just talking to y'all day after day, like today this happened, and tried to kind of keep it all in line. But the way that he orchestrated this thing is crazy to me. So both of those are super intertwined in my life over the past few years. And again, I'm going to try to keep it in line and keep it clear. But if those are things that you are believing for, or even if not, if there's other things that you are believing for, I again pray that my story blesses you, that it encourages you, that it shows you that, again, God has not forgotten about you, and that if you have not seen the thing in your life yet, that it's just simply because it's not time. And you don't want it before it's time. Okay. And so let's go all the way back. We're in 2025 now. So if you're watching this in 2026, it can still be that year for you. Okay. Amen. So let me back up all the way to, let's go back to like the year 2020. Let's go back 5 years. And so basically what happened in 2020 for me, again, we're focusing on my career and on my dwelling. I had moved down. I was in Atlanta, Georgia. I live in North Carolina now, but I was in Atlanta, Georgia. And I was staying there. I went down there for grad school in 2015. I stayed another 3 years after I graduated, and I was in the sports medicine field. I was an athletic trainer, and I worked like in clinics or whatever. So I enjoyed the field, but I kept feeling like, man, there's like nothing here for me, whatever. But I just kept working in it and kept going. But I really kept feeling like God was like, I'm trying to tug you away from this and like pull you into something new. And so as we know, 2020 comes and everything is up, in arms and all over the place. And so what happens for me in 2020 is that I get laid off from my position, and I am stuck trying to figure out what to do with my life. Right. So I'm like, do I stay in Atlanta? Do I come back home? I've already been out of my house, or, my parents' house, for about 10 years because I had gone to undergrad. I did an internship, then I went to grad school, then I stayed. So I'd been out of the house for 10 years and been living on my own or living with my best friends, throughout that time. And so I was like, okay, well, the next step should not be to go back to my parents' house. The next step for me should be to buy a house. It should be for me to save up and have my money right and be able to move into my own home. And am I supposed to do that down here in Georgia? Am I supposed to do that back home? Like, what am I supposed to do? But then getting laid off really threw a wrench in that plan, because I was like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. Like, I don't have income. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Like, what are we supposed to do? Right. So ultimately I decide to move back in with my parents. And I'm like, okay, my ultimate goal in moving back in with my parents is to pay down debt, is to save up, and is to buy a home, in the next year or two, like to really buy a home. And of course, to find a job, right, to give me some income. And so I moved back home, and I decide like, okay, I think that I need to get out of the sports medicine world. I think that I need to try my hand in another industry. And so I decide to step into the digital marketing world. That's the world I'm focused on, right? So I start applying for jobs. I'm not hearing back. I'm trying to do all kinds of things, because I had done a few things experience-wise in like the social media side of digital marketing, but that's kind of the extent of my digital marketing experience. But it was wild. I applied for this job, didn't hear back from them for like 2 months. And then I was like, something just told me one day, like, apply again, just go back and see if the position's still open and apply again. And it was, and I did. And so I applied twice. The second time I finally got a call back and had the interview, and I landed a position. And so I landed that position in early 2021. And so again, I'm still living with my parents. My goal is still to do all the things that I need to do so I can buy a home. And I'm now in this role making more than I was making at my last job in my sports medicine role, but still not making enough to, really like say that I can buy a home at that point. Right. So I'm like, I'm seeing all my friends who have either graduated and been able to buy their homes straight out because they just were, in great fields, or I'm seeing them, moving and shaking to where now they're able to start families and do all these different things. And I'm like, and I'm sitting here at my parents' house and I am just now breaking into a new field. I'm too old to be doing this. Like, things were on my mind like that. But I also was like, no, God has a plan for me that is specific to me. Like, I got to stick to it. I got to just focus on where he has me and lean into that. Right. So I did. So I leaned in. I absolutely loved the position that I was in, loved the job, loved the company, loved the people. Everything was amazing. And within the same time frame, so this is 2021, I start that. Within the same time frame, the church that I decided to be a part of was about to launch. We were in like launch phase. We weren't a church yet, but we were about to launch. And so over those 2 years, I was just like, over the next 2 years, I was just like really volunteering heavily, very, very involved in all the things. And so it came to a point where I was asked to join the staff and come off of my full-time position in digital marketing and join staff at the church. And so this is at the end of 2022, right? So I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like, I'm just now about to get another promotion and raise at my job. So then I'm going to have more money to be able to, buy this home and qualify for this home. I mean, when I tell y'all all my focus was on buying a house, like that's what my focus had been on. And so it was like, I was like, okay, but I have to stay in a certain industry for 2 years because that was the thing back then, right? You have to stay in the industry for 2 years in order to buy your home. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm about to say yes to joining this staff, but that's a whole different industry switch. Does that mean I'm going to have to wait another 2 years? Like, what are we doing, right? So I decided to say yes to taking the position at the church. It was really, really bittersweet because, again, I loved my position in digital marketing and I really felt like I was growing, I was moving forward and, stepping into the things God called me to there. And so anyway, I decided to say yes, but before I hop off staff at my other job, I was like, okay, but I'm going to still try to find a house within like a month. And so, which is crazy. So I decided like, I'm going to try to find a house. I've saved up, a good chunk of money. I'm going to do it. And so I start looking, but none of the houses that I really, really wanted are ones that I could qualify for. Like, I still had too much debt. I still didn't save enough. I still wasn't making enough because now I was about to go on staff at the church and take a pay cut. And so I was like, this is not going to work. Like, Lord, I thought that it was like, I just felt like, okay, Lord, like I'm really about to buy this house or a house. And every, little piece just wasn't falling in line. And so I said, well, maybe this is not God's will for me right now. Like, so let's just forget it. Like, we're just going to go on staff and we're going to figure things out from there. So I gave up my dream in that year of buying my home again. That's the end of 2022. And I'm like, well, forget it. Like, we'll figure it out later. Maybe God has something else, or maybe he has a supernatural, miraculous plan that he's going to use and work out for me to, buy my home in the next year. So I, put that off and I joined the staff. Now, I'll say this in terms of my dwelling or that journey, I really was upset. I really was upset with God, and I really was upset because I felt like he had kind of gotten my hopes up because it was like things were kind of like people were like, oh yeah, you should qualify. Oh yeah, you'll be able to do this, like talking to realtors and stuff. And I felt like, I didn't find anything. And I was like, well, God, why would you get my hopes up in this season? Like, why couldn't you just have been like, no, Tiff, or, from the start? So I didn't even start going to look at places and stuff like that. And, I was just really upset. And so I kind of acted out of that. And so all the money that I had saved, I was like, I'm just going to use it on experiences. So I start spending money on this, spending money on that, blowing it on this, blowing it on that. Still living at my parents' house. Okay. And just blowing money. And so anyway, I go on staff at the church. That was the year 2023. And again, I took a pay cut. I knew that there was not like these big promotions that were going to come. So I was like, I don't know how this is going to happen. And I don't know how I'm going to make enough money to buy a home. Like, I don't know how this is going to happen. Right. And 2023 was a really rough year for your girl. Okay. I really honestly can say now, and I used to say it back then too, but I really felt like I went on the staff disobediently. I feel like God was calling me to not go on staff at that moment. And he was just calling me to stay where I was and to keep working the plan and all of that. But I felt like there was something in me that was like, no, I'm going to go work for a church and, I'm going to go do this and whatever. And yes, he absolutely has used it. I still am at the same church. I still love the people that are there. I still love the people on staff. I still love it, right? But that year was the hardest year of my life. And I really do think it was because I was so disobedient that God was like, I just have to let you live this all out. And I'm still going to do work in you. I'm still going to work through you. I'm still going to do all kinds of stuff in your life. But you've got to live this out now, because I definitely repented early that year, because I was like, okay, God, I feel like I did this out of your will. Can I leave? And he was like, no, I'm glad you repented, but no, now you got to stay, because I have work to do for you, work to do in you and through you here. And you've got to sit in it. Like, you've got to take this one. And so I did. And, I got to the end of that year and everything was just coming to a head. And I was like, God, I can't do this. Like, I don't know how to get out of this, but I felt like I fell into a pretty depressive state, which is not at all something I ever had ever dealt with. I've never dealt with any like mental health issues in terms of, like anxiety and depression and things like that. But I felt so hopeless. I felt like I was in despair. I felt like I was stuck. Felt like I had literally been put in a box, or I put myself in a box and I could not break out of it. And I was looking around and, I'm a problem solver. Well, we all are, our brains are, but I'm a problem solver. So I was like, I'm in the middle of a problem. I'm a strategy girl. How do I break out of this? And I could not figure out a strategy. I couldn't see a way out that made sense. And I even remember like there was a week or two that I literally like would wake up, take a shower, get back into bed. Like, I didn't even want to walk out of my room or anything. And it was just bad. And so I remember saying, okay, God, like, you got to help me. Something has to happen. You got to help me, because I have to get out of this. Right. And I feel like God really honored that and was really starting to help me kind of see some things differently. And, he was kind of releasing me to finally come off staff. So, what happened? So I decided, I had gotten up one morning. I'm like, hey, God, what are we going to do? And so basically I decided, well, I'm leaving staff at the church, so I got to go find another job. And then I feel like I said, well, I also really feel like I need to move out and get into an apartment and move out of my parents' house. I was like, I know that I'm probably not buying a house right now, but I still feel like I need just my space. Like, I feel so claustrophobic in my life right now. So I just need to get out of the job I'm in and get out of the, home I'm in. Now, my parents, awesome, wonderful. Living with them, no complaints. Okay. So I need to put that out there. They did not put me in no box. They didn't make me feel like nothing. Okay. It was awesome living with my parents again. Favorite roommates. Okay. No, but anyway, I just felt, hey, I've been out on my own for 10 years before. I remember that feeling, and I'm getting antsy now. So, and I haven't bought a home, all the things. So I decided to go get an apartment. That's the first thing I did. And so I go and get an apartment, and again, I'm looking for a new job. And I decide, like, I need to go back into digital marketing, but I want to mix it with ministry, because now I've been in ministry. So I'm looking for ministry positions or digital marketing positions at ministry places that are Christ-centered. And I'm hearing nothing back. I'm not getting any callbacks. I don't have any connects or anything. And then God recalls to my mind something that happened, but right before I started feeling really like depressed and stuff, at the end of the year. And this is what happened. The church staff had gone on a trip, and we were, going through the airport. And so I came through TSA, and as I got through TSA, I heard somebody talking, and I was like, I know that voice. Like, I recall that voice. And I turned, and y'all, it was my boss from my previous digital marketing position. Now, I had been gone from that position for a whole entire year, hadn't talked to her, hadn't seen her, and it was a virtual position when I worked it. So we really didn't see each other often at all. I probably saw her like once or twice in life, for real. And so we're on that position, or I'm through TSA, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, girl, like, and so we start talking and chopping it up, and she's going on a trip with her mom. And they just kind of start talking and we start talking. And basically we get to the end of that conversation. And I guess they felt like kind of my angst because they asked me, how was my position going? And I thought I answered it as like, oh, it's going well. But the way that they responded was like, well, we have open positions. You know, we'd always love to have you back. Just reach out, you know, whatever. And I was like, okay, again, this is before I'm really like hitting that wall. So I was like, I'm not really thinking about leaving. Like, it's okay. And God brought that back to memory. That happened in like October, November, and it's now January of the next year. And I'm trying to figure things out in by way of what job to go to. And so I feel like God was like, okay, you need to reach back out to them. Like, keep that on your mind you needed to keep that on your mind because that was a very random thing. Like, why would you see her at the airport right before you're about to have this season of going back, you know, or trying to find a new job again? So anyway, long story short, I reached back out and my same position is open, same boss, same team, same people, all of that. It really felt like God had just like saved my position for me. Like he had put somebody there to help them for that year. And then he saved it for me to come back to. And I did. I landed the position. I was so grateful. Like God was really, really good and faithful in that. And so I go back to work that job. And again, loving it. Okay. Love the people, love the things, and I'm still growing and I'm making more than I was at the job. I mean, at the church, I'm making more than I was when I left the job the first time. And I'm like, okay, we're on the up and up. We're getting there. So this is 2024. And so I'm working the job all throughout the year. And then, and again, I'm still at my parents' house, but I said, okay, I have a newfound motivation to, you know, again, save and pay down debt and stuff and get into this house. I'm sorry if the lighting is getting dark. It's getting dark outside. The sun's going down. So I might turn the lights on here in a second. But anyway, I am, I said, I've got to get my stuff in order. I'm going to buy a house next year. I'm going to do it. I'm going to buy a house next year. Like I'm going to do it. And so I start trying to, you know, figure out all the pieces that need to be put together, but I'm also just working the job. Right now, job wise, we merge with another company and it goes, you know, like plane crash, train wreck. It was crazy. Okay. It was crazy. Like we merged with a company that really didn't have the same culture as us, that we really didn't have the same processes. It was a hot mess. Okay. And so things start getting crazy. People start leaving left and right. There are things that they start doing that are like breaking their employees' trust. And it was just all over the place. So at first I'm like, well, I'm okay. You know, I'm chilling, whatever. But even in that, y'all, I had been mentioning to my manager at the time, like, hey, if there's ever a position that comes open like this, like there was a specialized position or specialized role within my field that I was like, I'm really interested in this. If there's ever a position that comes open here, like, let me know, because we didn't have that type of position at first. And he was like, okay, yeah, like I got you, whatever. And so I kept mentioning it. And so that's all through 2024. I'm like mentioning it, doing great work, working the plan, trying to get a house, all this stuff. And then we get into 2025, early 2025. And my new boss or director, because my old one that I saw at the airport and came back and all that, she's moved on. But my new director is like, hey, I heard that you're interested in a role like XYZ. And I was like, wait, what? And she was like, yeah, we have a role. We want you to have it. It's a lateral move. So it wasn't like I was getting a raise just for doing it, but she's like, it's a lateral move. We'd love for you to do it. Like, let me know. And I was like, so again, a way that God orchestrated that was me mentioning it, just randomly mentioning it to my manager before. And then him being in a room that I had no clue they were talking about this, and me being mentioned to be on that, to be the person who takes that role. Crazy. And I ended up loving that role. Like that's the type of stuff that I love to do within my field. And so I worked that for a few months. Again, the job is still crazy though. Still crazy. Okay. But then I end up getting a promotion and a raise there. And I'm like, okay, yes, like we're moving on. Hold on. Let me turn on the light. So, cause it's getting real dark. 1 second. So, okay. I end up working that role, getting a promotion, getting a raise. And I'm like, okay, we're getting closer and closer. We're working the plan. We're staying focused. Like we got this. Right. And so I get the raise and I'm like, but it's a good raise. But I also was like, but I still want more. Like, I still feel like there's more out there for me and I want more. And this job is crazy and it's time for me to leave. And so I start looking for a position and ends up wildly that the exact same type of position, which is not super common. Like a lot of companies are kind of coming into it, but not a lot of companies, digital marketing companies, have this very specific role that I was in. And so I looked and I found the exact role, exact title, exact all the stuff. and making, at this point, it would have been making like like 9K more than I was with the raise that I just got. And my raise was already like 9K also. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, something like that. So I applied for the role, get the role, great job, enjoyed it, all the things. Now, when I got that role, I was like, oh, I am absolutely about to go look for a house, because this has definitely broken me into a new bracket where I can absolutely afford something like this, and, or something that I really want, and, all the things. So I started going to look for a house. Again, if you really want to hear the house content and house journey, definitely go watch the other videos on my channel about that, because I won't dig into that. But basically, I go and I'm looking for a house. Well, actually, before that, back up. I had told my brother, my brother's really, really, really great with finances, and he's always trying to help me and my cousins and my family to have better, habits and mindsets and perspectives and things like that with our finances. And so we had sat down, I was like, I'm about to get a new job. I just got a raise. I'm about to get a new job. Can you help me to make sure that my finances are on track? And so we sat down and we looked at all my things, all the debt, all the income, all the spending, all the things. And we actually had deduced hey, it's actually probably not a good idea for you to try to buy a house this year. Next year, absolutely. 2026, you can do it. But 2025, you still have these different, milestones that you need to hit before you buy this house. Let's just maybe not do it. I don't think it would be good, and whatever. So I had settled in my heart. Now, again, I had spent 4 or 5 years focused on buying a house. But in that moment, I remember he and I sitting, and I was like, okay, you're right. I see the plan. I see that it can work. I'm good. 2026, that's when we'll buy the house, or later, whatever. But we'll buy the house after we do these certain things. But I'll get these things in order again. Get my budget down, get this down, and then we'll be ready. And so we did that. It had to be maybe June, maybe, or something like that. And maybe before that. No, maybe it was June or something. I start the new job in July. And I go looking, for homes. I had kind of looked in June, even though I knew I wasn't technically going to, I wasn't making the new salary yet, but I had gone and looked for houses, and I was like, maybe, I don't know. I'm not ready. And so then the next month comes and I get the raise, and I'm like, I'm just going to go, or no, I didn't even look in that month actually. But then, the place that I had come and looked here, the sales rep hit me up, every few weeks, and he finally hit me up one time and was like, hey, we have really good incentives, and we have this and we have that, and we have some homes that are available again, and we just want you to come out and check them out. And so my dad and I were like, let's just go see what they got again. Let's just go see. So we come out here, and then we walk in this home specifically, and I'm like, actually, this might be the one. This feels good. This might be the one. And y'all, let me tell you something. When I came in the house, it was a mess. It was stuff all over the place. The people is in here trying to fix stuff. It wasn't up to par for anybody to be coming in here and saying ooh, this is my home. It's pretty. It's beautiful. No, it was a hot mess when I walked in here. But when I walked in here, I was like, this feels like the one. This feels like the one. Let's do it. This feels like the one. And so, wildly at first, still, I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to afford down payment for this. And what am I going to do there? I can afford it monthly, but I don't know how I'm going to do the down payment. I still haven't saved as much as I had saved before. And what are we going to do? And my parents were like, well, we had already, planned on helping you. And so if you're ready, we're ready. You just let us know what you want to do. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, basically in a nutshell saying that God has blessed us enough to be able to do this for you right now. So if you are ready and if you want to say yes, we can rock and roll with it. And I was like, okay, let's do it. Right. So end up buying a home after I had just settled in my heart and in my spirit that I was not going to buy until the very next year. I was just going to work the plan. And then again, I'm working this job and it's going really well, but there are still it's a good job, but then there's that little piece of the job that feels like it's just 1 degree off. You know what I mean? You can't really put your finger on it. You're like, this part bothers me. This part bothers me. Because no job is perfect, right? But I was like, this one is almost there, but it's just 1 degree off. If there's just one thing that I can't put my finger on, but if they can fix this, or if this can be different, this would be a perfect position for me, right? So I end up, what happened? Oh, so I had a quick conversation with one of my old coworkers before, where I was just telling her like, or I had posted on Instagram, she saw it, where I posted about like, I'm on so many meetings now, because I hadn't been on a lot of meetings in my previous positions. I was like, I'm on so many meetings, I'm just trying to get used to it. And then she had responded and said like, ooh, me too. Like, I'm getting back used to getting in meetings. And she was like, listen, if you're ever looking for something different, like, let me know, because we've got some, I'm at this new company and I just want you, like, we're always looking for talent. And I was like, okay. And at the time I was like, well, I'm not ready to leave yet. I've only been here 2 months, whatever. But then, or a month or something. Then long story short, I'm trying to make this shorter. Long story short, I just had a horrible day at work one day. It was like, I was on meetings all day. I was so stressed out. It was just a lot. And I was like, I can't, like, there has to be something else out there. I'm frustrated at this job right now. Like, I'm frustrated. And so I end up reaching out to her and just letting her know, hey, if y'all ever have anything open, just let me know. Like, here's my resume. Here's the things. Like, I actually am pretty interested now, you know, whatever. And I kind of just let it go. That was like, maybe I was like a month and a half into my position. And I didn't hear anything back from her for maybe like 2-3 weeks. I don't know, maybe longer than that. But wouldn't you know it, that on the very exact day that I am moving into this home, like, I'm literally walking boxes in, and I feel my phone vibrate. And it is not the old coworker that I had talked to first. It is another one from my old company who's also at the new company. And she's like, hey, I hear you're, interested in a new position, or, maybe you're not super enjoying the job that you're at. Like, I just want you to know we have something open. We've kind of put your name out there. Let me know if you're interested. Send me your resume, right? And so y'all, I was like, wait, what? Like, I've just gotten a raise. I've just gotten a house. I've only been working at this job less than 3 months. This can't, like, what are we talking about? No, like, what are we talking about, right? So I entertain a conversation. I have a conversation. I'm like, actually, this sounds really, really good. And then they send the offer. And the offer is, again, salary-wise, another, oh God, I'm trying to do the math. Another 7 or 8K, maybe? Yeah, another 7 or 8K more than I had just gotten at the new job that I was at. So we're already up. What is that? 997. I can't do that math. Over 20K, right? But I was mind blown. I was like, there's no way I can say no to this. Like, it's going to be a really good position. Like, you got to do it, girl. And so I said yes. I accepted that position too. And I, tried to really amicably leave the position that I was at, because again, I was really enjoying the people and the role, but it was just like one thing or a few things that I was like, this just isn't, something's off, right? And so, moved on and hopped into this new position, and now I'm loving it. It is stretching me, it is growing me, but it also feels very much me. It feels like I don't have to, like, I'm not super stressed out. I'm not on calls all the time. It's just a good thing, right? And so I'm in a new home with a new job, and I'm ending the year just in so much gratitude, so much gratefulness, just so excited. And even along the way, I know that I just spoke about all the blessings that you can see, but the things that God has done within me, like the way that he's made me more vulnerable, more patient, more trusting, more ready to be bold about who he is and how he can change your life in a night, in a second, in a moment. Like, he's too good. He's too good to us. He does not have to give us any of the things that he gives us. He gives us freely salvation, which is enough. But then he decides to, really live out this promise of, I have come to give you life and life more abundantly. And so he gives us abundant life, abundant blessings, things that just keep happening and just keep coming into our lives. Again, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, nor has it entered into the heart of man, all that God has prepared for those who love him. And so the things that he had prepared for me this year, I could not have at all written up at the beginning of the year. Y'all, I wrote down goals at the beginning of the year. I'm gonna have to do another video about this, but I wrote down goals at the beginning of the year, didn't really check back on them. And yet, and still, this is the year where I've seen just so many things happen that I have been praying for. And it's because I won't even say it's because, I think it's just because God is good, right? But one thing that I did do a lot more this year, is really try to seek him way more. I really tried to keep my focus on him way more. I really tried to be obedient to him way more, right? Because I had that year of 2023. And let me tell you something, I'm not living another 2023 year. I'm not doing it, okay? But I just am so grateful. I'm so thankful. I had to come and share this with you. If you stayed till the end of this video, God bless you, okay? But I really pray that this blessed you. I pray that it opened up your eyes to see that God has not forgotten about you. I pray that it infused some faith into you. It gave you something to borrow from me to say, like, again, God is good and he's faithful and he's not forgotten about you. And everything that you have been praying for, all the things that you have been wanting and desiring and seeking, if it's healing, if it's a house, if it's a career, if it's a marriage, okay, now he ain't done that for me, but if it's a marriage, if it's a whatever blessing you're looking for, God has it for you. And it's just around the corner. You just got to keep trusting him, and you got to trust his plan, not your own plan. You got to trust his plan and his ways, because they are going to absolutely catapult you into just places that you had no clue even existed. So I am grateful. I come downstairs in my house every day and I'm like, is this really my house? Like I still have not gotten over the fact that this is a home that he blessed me with. I cannot say enough about how good he is. I can't say enough about how good he is and how faithful he is. And yeah, I've talked enough. That's all I got to say. I pray that this blessed you. I pray it encouraged you, and share it with somebody if if somebody else needs to be infused with a little bit more of this faith. Man, anyway, if he has done anything amazing for you this year, or just honestly, anything amazing is subjective. So if he kept you this year, that's amazing. If he healed you this year, that's amazing. If he did give you a home or a community or a church home or a car or something intangible, more hope, more joy, more peace, whatever, it's all amazing. And I want you to drop it down in the comments below so we can talk about it. Let's have testimony service in my comments. Tell me what God has done for you within this year. And for those of you who feel like, again, this has not been the best year for you, or you didn't have the best year just now, then read the comments down there to see how good and faithful God is, and how, again, he has not forgotten about you. He's still at work. And if he can do it for somebody else, he can absolutely do it for you. So I love y'all. I'm grateful for you for watching this whole entire video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.